Welcome back to Brain Power classes. Today we are going to learn class 11th economics chapter number 8 poverty in India. So remember, imagine one question, one situation. You are hungry since morning and you want food but there is no money. You want to study but school fees cannot be paid. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं है, प्रॉपर हाउस नहीं है, मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट भी अफोर्ड नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. So now tell me honestly, is poverty only about money? Exactly. Poverty is much bigger than just lack of money. And today we are going to understand one of the most important chapters of economics, that is poverty in India. So let's begin with the introduction first. So this chapter is very important because poverty directly affects the development of a country. अगर citizens की basic needs ही complete नहीं हो रही, then country का development incomplete रह जाता है. So in today's lecture we will understand meaning of poverty, multidimensional poverty, concepts of poverty, poverty line, types of poverty. So let us begin. What is poverty? In simple language, when a person cannot fulfill basic needs like food, clothing, shelter because of lack of income, that condition is called poverty. So, for example, a family struggling for food, education, medicines, and proper housing is living in poverty. So, now let's little go in history. Now, poverty during British rule. Why did poverty become such a huge issue in India? So, during British rule, Indian handicrafts declined, cottage industries were destroyed, resources were exploited, and famines happened repeatedly. Because of this, mass poverty increased in India. So, this was a introduction and meaning of the poverty. Now let's see the concept, that is multidimensional poverty. So earlier poverty was measured only through food and income, but today the meaning of poverty had changed. Now we use the term multidimensional poverty. Suppose a person has food but no education, no healthcare, no electricity, no safe drinking water, no sanitation. Can we say that person is living a good life? The answer is no. So that is why poverty now includes material dimensions and non-material dimensions. So you can see here, sorry, wait. So it includes material and non-material dimensions. So in material dimensions, food, clothing, shelter, education, health, roads, electricity, safe drinking water, these all items comes. And in non-material dimensions, social discrimination, inequality, exclusion from opportunities. So poverty today means deprivation of opportunities also. Next we have concepts of poverty. There are two concepts of poverty. First is absolute poverty and another one is relative poverty. So absolute poverty. Absolute poverty is based on minimum calorie requirement. Earlier planning commission said rural person needs 24 calories for 2400 calories daily and urban person needs 2100 calories for a person living in the urban area. So average requirement is around 2250, that is 2050 calories. Now understand carefully, if a person does not even earn enough to get this minimum food requirement, then that person is considered absolutely poor. So it is absolute poverty concept. Now next we have relative poverty. So relative poverty is based on comparison. For example, one person earns one person earns lakhs every month while another person struggles for a daily food. So the difference in income, wealth and the living standard is called the relative poverty. So this was two concepts of poverty, absolute and relative. Now we are going to see the poverty line. Now comes one of the most important concept, that is poverty line. Poverty line is an imaginary line that separates poor people and non-poor people. So government decides this using household expenditure. Suppose government fixes a minimum amount needed for basic living. If family spends below that amount, they are considered below poverty line, BPL. So it helps government identify poor people, provide benefits, plan welfare schemes and track poverty levels. So this was about poverty, and you can see as per task force on eliminating poverty constituted by the Niti Aayog, poverty line is defined as the threshold expenditure or the amount necessary to purchase a basket of goods and services that are considered necessary to satisfy basic human needs at socially acceptable levels. Poverty line helps to fulfill the following objectives. First is to determine the population living above poverty line, APL, and below poverty line, BPL. Second, to identify the poor on the basis of the household consumption expenditure. Third, to track poverty in a region over a period of time and compare it across regions. Fourth, to provide an estimate of the required expenditure on poverty alleviation programs. Now you can see here, poverty line differs from country to country. According to World Bank, poverty line was defined at $1.90 per capita per day at 2011 prices on purchasing power parity PPP. On the basis of on this basis, 21.2% of India's population lived below poverty line, that is BPL. Now let's see the types of poverty. There are two types of poverty, the rural poverty and urban poverty. So rural poverty. Rural poverty means poverty in villages, mostly found among small farmers, agricultural laborers, landless workers. And why rural poverty happens? What are the causes? What are the reasons behind it? So low agricultural productivity, drought, illiteracy, lack of jobs, etc. And next we have urban poverty. Urban poverty exists in towns and cities. Many people migrate from village to cities searching for jobs. So because of this, unemployment increases, expensive housing, slow industrial growth, slums, etc. Many people end up living in slums only. So today we understood meaning of poverty, multidimensional poverty, absolute and relative poverty, poverty line, rural and urban poverty. In next part, we will study causes of poverty, vicious circle of poverty, government measures, poverty alleviation programs, etc. Thank you.